I feel like the prices are ridiculous now. It's to the point where it's going to be harder for people to shop because the prices are just insane.
People are saying the ports of LA and Seattle are empty.
There are no shipping containers. It is empty.
China has spent years preparing for a trade war.
This is the first of many.
Tariffs skyrocketed, markets trembled, and the two world's two largest economies drifted toward a near embargo. This is the story of the US-China trade dispute, how it began, where it went, and why it matters to all of us. As months passed, both countries engaged in a series of retaliatory measures. Tariff rates climbed to unprecedented levels, and global markets reacted nervously. The threat of a near embargo on trade between the world's two biggest economies created intense economic uncertainty. Diplomatic efforts eventually brought both sides to the negotiating table. In Geneva, negotiators agreed on a partial rollback of tariffs and a 90-day pause in new measures.
Reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels, both sides on the reciprocal.
Later in London, both countries eased some of the newly imposed restrictions, making limited concessions on rare earth exports and on educational exchange such as student visas. These talks offered a glimpse of relief, but they didn't end the dispute.
And we will support refugees who have fled persecution. That's why we are bringing students from Gaza to be able to take up places here. But we don't want to see the asylum system misused by students who simply want to stay for longer. That's why we're being very clear. We need those numbers.
Soon shifted to a newly battleground. Non-tariff barriers, China tightened exports control in critical minerals, while the United States imposed new restrictions on advanced technology exports and student visas. These measures weren't called tariffs, but their impact on trade was just as significant. At the World Economic Forum's annual meeting of the new champions in Tianjin, China, Liu Chen, founder and CEO of Wuzilla Advisory, noted that China has already hedged itself away from dependence on US exports. Europe overtook the US as China's largest export market a few years ago. Today, it's the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and last year, Latin America and the Caribbean were China's fastest growing export markets.
China is finding its way and is learning how to deal with the rise of its power, how to use that power, and how to integrate with the rest of the world. And China does make.
From tariffs to technology bans, the US-China trade dispute shows how interconnected our world has become, and how trade policy decisions in one place can ripple across the globe. As the July 9 deadline approaches, the question remains, will compromise hold, or will tensions flare once more?